So if you haven't heard, Sony is going to be deleting 500 movies from their library. This means that if you've purchased any of these movies, they're just completely gone now. Additionally, they're also getting rid of physical discs, and I'll explain the problem with that later. But first, I want to pivot back to the first thing. They deleted 500 movies that people didn't rent, but purchased. And then they claimed that they had to do this because of licensing agreements. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty skeptical. If you look at other online storefronts like Steam, even if you bought a game like 10 years ago and the license expired, you'll still be able to re-download it. So we don't know why Sony decided to delete all these movies. They could have just done it because they thought it would be funny for all we know. But if you ask me, I think they're trying to set a precedent so they can just do this whenever they want. They want to establish that we have no right to anything we purchase. I mean, look at these terms and conditions they make you agree to in order to use their shitty consoles. I've been noticing this for a while now, where the amount of terms and conditions you have to agree to play games has just increased to a ridiculous degree. And I think it really is, they're just trying to chip away at our ownership. And this is why it's so important for you to own physical things. Because if you buy things digitally, they can just screw you over whenever they want and the governments will not care. And also, streaming services are one of the most egregious scams. The average person is paying for multiple subscriptions, some they don't even remember they have. For each streaming service, it's probably like $10 to $15 per month, if not more. And for the average person, this is going to add up to about $70 a month. Meanwhile, you can go to a thrift store and find plenty of working DVDs for like $1 to $3 each. I've been to a lot of thrift stores, and it's usually about $2 per DVD, but even if we assume it's on the higher end at $3, you can still get 23 DVDs per month for the amount you're spending on your streaming services per month. And if I had to guess, you're probably not watching 23 movies per month. So you don't even have to spend as much. You'll be saving money. You get those and some TV show DVDs, then you'll have plenty of entertainment that you own and no company can randomly take away. You can even go to Walmart and find a DVD set worth $50 that has like 170 hours of entertainment on it. You may be thinking, well, where the fuck am I going to store all these DVDs? Well, you can just get a DVD binder and throw away the old cases and you're good. And if you're an even bigger cheap ass, you can ask some of your family members if they have some old DVDs they never use. The average person is spending like $850 a year on streaming services, and you can cut that down and save hundreds of dollars just by being a cheap ass. There's literally no reason to spend $850 on streaming services every year when you don't own any of the content and it could disappear overnight. Escaping the subscription matrix for movies and TV shows is pretty easy, but I'm going to be honest, for video games it's more of a pain in the ass. Especially because all the major game companies, they're not making physical game discs anymore. Even Nintendo are just making a key card system. So in 10 years when they shut down the servers, you won't be able to actually play any of the Switch 2 games, even if you have a physical copy. And if you don't know, the physical game market is one of the few things keeping games cheap, okay? Because Best Buy and Walmart and Target and all these retailers have to compete with each other, and the best way to do that is to keep prices cheap. If you get rid of that, then Sony can just price it at $80 if they want, and people can't do a damn thing about it. And you also can't get games pre-owned if they're digital. And remember, you don't even own the game. It's a digital license to play the game. So they could just delete it off your console whenever they want. Every time any of us buy a digital game or buy DLC or any of this stuff, we are further encouraging them to do this. And before anybody says anything, the DLC I'm playing came on the game cartridge. But anyway, we should be refusing to purchase a game unless it has a physical copy and the game is on the disc. And Sony will try and gaslight you and try and make you think that people prefer digital. They're going around telling everybody that 80% of game sales are digital. What's the problem with this? Well, you see, they're including DLC and video games that didn't have a physical release. So obviously that's going to skew the data. If I really want a game but it doesn't have a physical release, if I'm an average person, I'll just get the digital version. What Sony is fallaciously and implicitly claiming is that I prefer the digital version just because I didn't have access to the physical one, or the physical one didn't exist. And they're also including free-to-play games and DLC, the latter of which is the most egregious of the inclusions in this stat. Just to show you how fucking absurd that is, this right here, this free add-on for Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is a little item in-game, is counted in the statistics. They're shamelessly and blatantly lying to you to try and get you to forget that they're anti-consumer. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to fall for the bystander effect, and I'll explain what that is. Some company does something fucked up and or anti-consumer. Die-hard fans buy it anyway. Normal people say, well, I'm only one guy, it makes no difference if I buy it, may as well join in. Companies realize they can get away with it and further push the boundaries. And then they start another controversy, and this repeats the cycle again, and again, and again, and again. When the cycle repeats enough times, it causes severe enshittification. Ultimately, the reason everything sucks now is because we keep paying for enshittified products. But if you're tired of the cycle of enshittification and not owning anything, then you have to be willing to boycott companies. They don't care if you complain about it on Twitter, but you keep buying their shit. If we individually start taking accountability, then the enshittification will have to eventually end. But if you individually make excuses and don't change your buying habits, then guess what? Nothing's gonna change. And if you're the kind of person who shills for these companies, realize this. They do not give a fuck about you and they have contempt for you. It's always so frustrating to me to see Nintendo fanboys just shilling for this company who views them as cattle. Let's stop making excuses for ourselves and these companies, and let's just buy physical media secondhand. And guess what? If you're the average person, you probably need the money anyway. You could probably use a lot of the money you're spending on streaming services and PlayStation Plus. The average person is spending like $1,500 a year on subscriptions. If you save that money, there's so many things that you probably need that you could buy. So, in conclusion, boycott companies, get tons of physical media, stop buying digital shit, cancel your subscriptions, and, well, just own as much as you can. Let's all stop renting shit we don't need.